If you're still here, take this as a quiet moment to pause and reflect, rather than something urgent or overwhelming. Life doesn't usually speak in extremes or final warnings. It tends to guide us gently through experience, reflection, and timing that unfolds in its own way. There are moments when something you read or hear resonates deeply, almost like it is speaking directly to what you have been feeling inside, and that can be meaningful without needing fear or pressure attached to it. Sometimes, that sense of connection is simply a reminder to check in with yourself, where you are emotionally, what you have been carrying, and what you might need to release in order to feel more balanced. You are not required to rush any decision or respond immediately to anything external. Real clarity often comes when you allow yourself space instead of urgency, when you slow down enough to hear your own thoughts without noise or pressure shaping them. Life has a way of realigning over time through small shifts, the choices you make, the boundaries you set, and the way you care for your own well-being. What is meant to support your growth does not disappear because of hesitation, nor does it require fear to be recognized. Instead, it tends to remain present in a steady, grounded way, becoming clearer as you move forward with awareness. Trusting yourself is part of that process, not in a dramatic or forced sense, but in a calm, everyday way where you learn from experience and gradually understand what feels right for you. Whatever you are navigating right now, you are allowed to take it step by step, without urgency, and still move towards something more stable, meaningful, and aligned with who you are becoming. Do you understand what this means? The doors of heaven are wide, but they do not remain open forever. This is the last warning, the last opening, the last invitation. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange heaviness in your chest, the whispers in the silence of night when the world was sleeping, but your spirit would not rest. You thought it was just your imagination, but no, that was heaven knocking. That was Michael calling your name. That was God waiting for you to stop running. And now, finally, here you are. But if you skip this, the gates will shut, and the message will vanish like smoke in the wind. Do not think this is coincidence. No, my child, no. Your soul was summoned here. From eternity, this moment was carved for you. Every heartbreak, every delay, every sleepless night has led you to this point. Do you think that is random? Michael says no. God says no. This is holy timing, and you have less than you think before it is gone. They tried to reach you before through signs, through numbers, through dreams you could not explain, but you ignored it. You doubted, and so the angels watched in silence, waiting for the right time. And now the right time is here, but only once. Michael himself declares, if they turn away this time, if they walk away from this message, heaven will close the book, and their miracle will be given to another. Stop. Breathe. Do you feel it? That shiver on your skin, that pull in your soul, that weight pressing in your heart? That is not fear, that is recognition. Your soul remembers this sound, this calling, this truth. It remembers what your mind has forgotten, that heaven has been chasing you, that God has been protecting you, that Michael has been fighting for you in battles you never saw. My child, God is saying, I never left you. I never abandoned you. I was always near, but your eyes could not see me. Your ears could not hear me. So I sent Michael, I sent the angels, and I sent this message, because your soul is in danger of forgetting who you are. Listen, do not close this. You are at the final doorway. If you take one step through, your life will never be the same. You feel the heaviness, because truth is entering. You feel the tears, because your spirit knows this is real. This is not just another video. This is not just another word. This is the word, the one you were not supposed to miss, the one they prayed you would finally hear, the one written for your name alone. You, Yes, you, not someone else, not later, now. But Michael warns, if they walk away, the door will slam shut. Their chance will be erased, their blessing will vanish, and they will spend years searching for what heaven offered in a single moment. Do you see why you cannot skip this? Why your soul begged you to stay? Because what you are about to hear will save you from a mistake that could destroy the next 7 years of your life. My child, do you want to know why everything has been delayed? Why you felt trapped in cycles? Why the doors kept closing? It was not punishment, it was protection. God was holding back the blessing until you were ready, until you could see clearly, until you were strong enough to carry it. And now the veil is lifting. The angels are watching to see what you choose. Michael says they have less than they think. Heaven is giving them a final chance. If they stay, their eyes will open. If they go, their name will fade from the book of miracles. Do you want your miracle reassigned to another? Do you want your blessing stolen while you sleep? No. That is why you are still here. Because your soul refuses to let go. Because you know this is real. And here, my beloved, is where the message begins. Your pain was never just pain. It was a signal. It was heaven knocking, saying, wake up, look closer, something is not right. And you were right to feel it. You were right to suspect. You were right to doubt what others told you. Your instincts were divine. Heaven is confirming it now. Someone has been working in the shadows against you. Someone you trusted, smiling at your face, but hiding poison in their hands. Michael saw it. God saw it. And your soul felt it. But no one believed you. They told you it was just in your head, but it wasn't. And now heaven has opened the scroll to show you the truth. Do not fear. This message is not to terrify you. It is to free you, to uncover what was hidden, to shine light on what they thought you would never see. Michael says, the one you love, the one you lost. They begged us to send this message because they saw what was coming, and they swore they would not rest until you were warned. If you're still here, it may be because something within you is searching for meaning, direction, or a sense of renewal. In moments like this, people often feel as if life is asking them to pay attention more deeply to what they truly want to change. You might imagine the presence of Archangel Michael not as a literal force of battle, but as a symbol of courage, protection, and clarity standing beside you when decisions feel overwhelming. In that sense, guidance can feel like a hand reaching toward you, not to force you, but to remind you that you still have choices. Sometimes we reach turning points where the past and the future seem to meet, and we become more aware of what we need to let go of and what we hope to build. If your emotions feel intense right now, it may simply be your mind and heart realigning, trying to make sense of change. Instead of fear or pressure, this can be a moment of reflection, where you pause and consider what direction feels honest and supportive for your life. You are allowed to move forward at your own pace, with clarity, steadiness, and self-trust. Growth doesn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it is quiet, internal, and gradual, but still meaningful in its own way. You are not behind. You are simply in transition, learning to trust what comes next with patience and awareness. Take what resonates, and leave the rest without judgment right now, and forward always gently. Heaven has been holding back the floodgates waiting for you to finally arrive at this moment. And now the flood is ready to pour, but only if you stay, only if you believe. My child, you have carried weights that no one saw. You cried tears that no one understood. You stayed silent when you wanted to scream, but every silent battle was written in God's book. Heaven saw you when no one else did. And today God says, I will reward the secret battles with a public miracle. I will restore what they tried to take. I will heal what they thought would never recover. But there is a warning. Michael says the enemy is circling. They know what is coming for you. They are desperate to block it. That is why this message came now, not later. If you delay, they will succeed. If you stay, heaven will strike them down. Can you feel the urgency? 10 seconds, 10 heartbeats. Michael's voice thunders like a storm across eternity, and every word is for you alone. He says, do not let your blessings slip through your hands. Do not let the enemy steal what God placed in your destiny. This moment is too sacred to ignore. You were not meant to stumble here. You were led here. And if you are still reading, it means your soul has already said yes to the calling. Do you feel the trembling in your spirit? That is not fear. It is alignment. Your spirit is standing in a holy doorway caught between what was and what is about to come. Heaven has been holding back the floodgates, waiting for you to finally arrive at this moment. And now the flood is ready to pour. But only if you stay. Only if you believe. My child, you have carried weights that no one saw. You cried tears that no one understood. You stayed silent when you wanted to scream. But every silent battle was written in God's book. Heaven saw you when no one else did. And today, God says, I will reward the secret battles with a public miracle. I will restore what they tried to take. I will heal what they thought would never recover. But there is a warning. Michael says, the enemy is circling. They know what is coming for you. They are desperate to block it. That is why this message came now, not later. If you delay, they will succeed. If you stay, heaven will strike them down. Can you feel the urgency? 10 seconds, 10 heartbeats. That is all you have before the blessing is redirected. Think about this. Why do you feel your chest tighten while you read? Why do your eyes water without reason? Because your soul recognizes truth. It remembers something your mind forgot. That before you were born, God marked you for greatness. That before you took your first breath, your name was carved into the book of light. But life tried to make you forget. And now heaven is reminding you again. Michael says, they are chosen, but chosen ones always face the hardest battles, because their blessing threatens the darkness. You have felt that, haven't you? Every delay, every betrayal, every heartbreak, those were not random. They were proof of how dangerous you are to the enemy. The bigger the resistance, the greater the calling, and your calling is mighty. My beloved, listen closely. Someone you trusted has been speaking against you in secret. Their words are poison, shaping shadows around your life. Michael has been fighting these shadows day and night. But now heaven says, it is time to expose it. It is time to shine light. That is why you found this. That is why you could not scroll away. Your soul refuses to be blind any longer. Do not be afraid of what is revealed. Truth does not come to destroy you. It comes to free you. Yes, it may sting. It may shake your world. But after the shaking comes peace. After the storm comes calm. Michael whispers, stay. The truth will save you. But if you walk away now, the lies will consume you, and your heart will never find rest. This is why your heart beats faster. It knows freedom is near. God says, I am not a God of confusion. I am a God of truth. And today, I am peeling away every mask, every disguise, every false smile around them. They cannot hide anymore. You asked for a sign. You prayed for confirmation. This is it. This is the answer. Heaven has finally spoken, and it is louder than your doubts. Pause for a moment. Do you feel that chill run across your skin? Do you feel that weight in the air around you? That is not coincidence. This message can be understood as a reminder to pause and reflect on the sense of guidance, hope, and inner strength that people often turn to during important moments in life. Sometimes, when we are going through uncertainty, we become more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and the direction we want to take, and it can feel like life is asking us to make a meaningful decision about our next step. In those moments, it is helpful to slow down and focus on clarity rather than fear, because real change usually comes from steady self-awareness and patient effort, not pressure or urgency. Many people describe their breakthroughs as arriving after periods of preparation, learning, and personal growth, when they finally feel ready to move forward with more confidence and stability. Instead of seeing challenges as signs of delay or denial, they can be viewed as part of a natural process that builds resilience and understanding over time. What truly matters is how we respond, by trusting ourselves more, staying grounded in practical action, and remaining open to learning from both progress and setbacks. Life tends to shift in meaningful ways when we align our choices with patience, discipline, and honesty about what we need to improve. Rather than waiting for something outside of us to change everything instantly, we can focus on creating balance within our daily habits and mindset. In doing so, we gradually build a stronger foundation for the future, allowing opportunities to unfold in a more stable and realistic way. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now. Good. You are still here. That means your soul is listening. That means you are ready. Archangel Michael smiles, because you stayed when others would have scrolled, and because you stayed, heaven is releasing secrets that were sealed until this moment. Secrets about your future, secrets about your family, secrets about the destiny written with your name. My child, lean closer. Heaven is not whispering anymore. Heaven is roaring your name. Michael says, this is the last call before the page turns. The moment they decide will echo for generations. If they stay, their bloodline will rise. If they leave, the blessing will be erased from their name. That is how serious this moment is. Your ancestors are watching. Your future children are waiting. And the angels are holding their breath. Do you feel the weight of that truth? It is not fear. It is destiny pressing against your soul. This is why life has been so heavy lately. This is why you felt out of place, restless, unsettled, because heaven was preparing you, because heaven was setting the stage for this very second. The waiting is over. The moment is now. Michael declares, tell them the war is nearly done. Tell them they are closer to victory than they think. But warn them, the enemy always strikes hardest at the edge of breakthrough. That's why the attacks increased. That's why the betrayals stung deeper. That's why the delays felt unbearable. It was never because you were weak. It was because you were near the door. And now the door is opening. My beloved, I know your heart has been tired. You've prayed and wondered if heaven was listening. You've asked, why me? Why is this happening? And God says, because you are chosen. Because you are the one who can carry this light. Because your story is not just about you. It is about everyone who will be freed by your testimony. That is why the battle was so fierce. The greater the calling, the greater the resistance. Listen closely. Someone is planning to use your trust against you. They are smiling in your presence, but plotting in your absence. Heaven saw it. Michael has already drawn his sword, but the angels cannot move unless you believe this warning. If you ignore it, you will walk straight into their trap. But if you stay, their plan will collapse before it touches you. This is the mercy of God. He exposes what you could not see. He warns before the storm breaks. He sends angels before the shadow attacks. But he cannot force your choice. Heaven respects your free will. That is why this message is not a command. It is a gift. But a gift only works if you receive it. Do you understand? This moment is the dividing line. On one side is the old life, the cycle of pain, betrayal, delay. That's why the attacks increased. That's why the betrayal stung deeper. That's why the delays felt unbearable. It was never because you were weak. It was because you were near the door, and now the door is opening. My beloved, I know your heart has been tired. You've prayed and wondered if heaven was listening. You've asked, why me? Why is this happening? And God says, because you are chosen. Because you are the one who can carry this light. Because your story is not just about you. It is about everyone who will be freed by your testimony. That is why the battle was so fierce. The greater the calling, the greater the resistance. Listen closely. Someone is planning to use your trust against you. They are smiling in your presence, but plotting in your absence. Heaven saw it. Michael has already drawn his sword, but the angels cannot move unless you believe this warning. If you pause with this message, it may simply be inviting you to reflect on the direction you are taking in life, rather than warning you of anything absolute or certain. Many people in moments of uncertainty interpret their inner thoughts through spiritual language, seeing symbols like Archangel Michael as a representation of strength, protection, and clarity when they are trying to make sense of change. In that sense, what feels like a shift is often the mind becoming more aware of choices, patterns, and emotions that were previously overlooked. Life has a way of presenting turning points where we reconsider old habits, relationships, or situations that no longer feel supportive, and we begin imagining what a healthier and more peaceful path could look like. Instead of fear or pressure, this can be understood as a reminder to slow down and pay attention to what genuinely brings stability and meaning into your life. The idea of a, quote, doorway can be seen metaphorically as the space between where you have been and where you might grow next, shaped by your decisions and timing rather than any fixed destiny. Nothing needs to feel forced or urgent here. Real change usually happens through steady awareness, patience, and honest self-reflection. You are allowed to move forward without panic, choosing what feels right for you in a grounded and thoughtful way. They were stored for this hour. My child, God says, I heard you when you whispered at midnight. I saw you when you broke but kept smiling. I counted every tear. I remembered every prayer. And now I am answering not with words but with power, with restoration, with miracles. But you must stay. You must keep reading, because the final part of the message carries the key that unlocks what is next. Look back at your life. Notice how many times you should have failed but didn't. How many times you should have been destroyed but survived. That was not luck. That was Michael's sword. That was God's hand holding you even when you didn't know it. And if He carried you this far, why would He stop now? He will not. But He needs you awake. He needs you aware. There is something about your family, a truth buried in silence, a secret kept hidden. Someone knows it, but they never told you. Your loved one who passed saw it. They whispered it in their final breath, but no one listened. Now finally, heaven is speaking. Michael says, the secret will not stay hidden. The truth is rising, and it will change everything once it comes to light. Good, you are still here. That means your spirit is stronger than your doubts. That means you are ready to hear what most are too afraid to face. The angels smile when they see someone chosen stay until the end, because it means the blessing can be trusted with them. It means heaven can deliver fully, and heaven is ready now. My beloved, hear this. The next 14 days will not be ordinary. They will carry signs, alignments, encounters you cannot explain. Doors that were locked will swing open. Opportunities that were lost will circle back. But with them comes a test. The enemy will try one last time to distract you, to drag you back to old patterns. Do not fall for it. Do not look back. You are not who you were. Michael says, tell them their name is written in heaven's book. Their destiny cannot be stolen unless they surrender it. And tonight they choose. Do they walk away empty, or do they stay and step into overflow? The angels already know your answer, because you are still here, because you refuse to let go, because your spirit said yes when everything else said no. My beloved child, you are still here. Do you know what that means? It means your soul has chosen. It means your spirit is listening. It means heaven can finally release what was held back for so long. Michael whispers, this is the moment the enemy feared. This is the second your destiny begins to turn. because they stayed, because they believed. You may not realize it, but angels are surrounding you right now. They are leaning close, watching every breath, waiting for your next choice. Your faith is opening doors in the unseen. Your decision to stay here has already shifted your atmosphere. You may feel it, a pressure lifting, a strange peace replacing the heaviness. That is not coincidence. That is your sign. That is the evidence you needed that God is moving. Do not doubt it. Do not question it. Heaven does not play with your heart. Every word you are hearing is a seed, and if you let it sink deep, it will grow into miracles you never thought possible. But if you turn away, if you let fear close the door, the seed will wither before it takes root. This is why Michael keeps shouting, "Stay, stay until the end. Do not give up now, my beloved. God is showing me something about your future. There is a decision ahead of you, one that seems small but carries great weight. If you make it blindly, it could set you back years. But if you walk with heaven, it will accelerate your destiny." This is the crossroads. That is why the warning came now. That is why your spirit was pulled here, because the choice is near, and heaven wants to prepare you. Michael says, they are not alone. They never were. Even in their darkest nights, even in their silent tears, we were there. Tell them we carried them when they thought they could not stand. And that is why you are still breathing. That is why you are still fighting. Because heaven never let you go, and heaven never will. But hear this. There is someone who does not want you to receive what is coming. They are close, pretending, smiling, but their heart is not for you. They have been delaying you with their energy, blocking your flow, poisoning your spirit. Heaven says, release them, or the blessing cannot flow. Walk away, or the miracle will remain stuck. This is not cruelty, it is protection. God cannot bless what drains you. He will only pour into hands that are clean. Sometimes, when emotions are intense, it can feel like your body and mind are reacting in a very strong, almost physical way, and you may start searching for meaning in those sensations. You might notice thoughts about certain people, situations, or decisions coming forward more clearly than usual, and it can feel like your inner world is trying to tell you something important. In reality, this often reflects the way your mind processes stress, memory, attachment, and intuition all at once, especially when you are facing uncertainty or emotional conflict. What feels like recognition is usually your brain connecting patterns based on past experiences and current feelings, not a hidden external force giving instructions. This is why moments like these are better understood as invitations to slow down and reflect, rather than to rush into conclusions. If something feels heavy or unclear, it can help to observe it calmly, without assuming it is a sign or a warning, and instead, ask what is actually true in your present situation. Letting go or holding on in life decisions is rarely about destiny or pressure. It is about clarity, boundaries, and what supports your well-being in the long run. Sometimes, the most important step is not reacting immediately, but giving yourself space to think with stability and honesty. When you do that, your choices become less driven by fear or emotional intensity, and more guided by awareness and self-respect. Over time, this approach helps you feel more grounded, more balanced, and more capable of moving forward in a way that genuinely supports your growth and peace of mind. Because heaven never let you go, and heaven never will. But hear this, there is someone who does not want you to receive what is coming. They are close, pretending, smiling, but their heart is not for you. They have been delaying you with their energy, blocking your flow, poisoning your spirit. Heaven says, release them, or the blessing cannot flow. Walk away, or the miracle will remain stuck. This is not cruelty, it is protection. God cannot bless what drains you. He will only pour into hands that are clean. Pause. Do you feel your chest burn with recognition? Do you see the face in your mind right now? That is not imagination. That is discernment. Your soul knows the truth before your mind accepts it. That is why this message is confirmation. Heaven is exposing what you already suspected but could not prove. Michael is stern now. He says if they do not act, if they stay tied to the wrong one, the miracle will pass them by. If they release it, heaven will flood them with blessings they cannot contain. This is the test. This is the moment of courage. This is where your destiny shifts forever. My child, do not fear letting go. What is meant for you cannot be stolen. What God wrote for your name cannot be erased by human hands. You are not losing. You are making room. Room for the miracle. Room for the love. Room for the abundance. Room for the destiny that has been waiting. Do you know what happens when you obey? When you trust? When you let go? When you believe? The heavens move. The angels fight harder. Michael swings his sword and cuts every chain you could not see. And suddenly the delays break. The closed doors open. The money flows. The love arrives. The peace covers you like a blanket. This is what God has been preparing. My beloved, I must tell you this. The next 7 days carry signs that will shock you. You will see the number 7 again and again. You will hear words that feel like echoes from this message. You will notice patterns repeating, names returning, dreams becoming sharper. These are not random. They are confirmations. They are proof that you are aligned. Good, you are still here. Do you realize how rare that is? Most would have clicked away. Most would have ignored the pull, but not you. And because you stayed, heaven says, now we can trust them. Now we can pour without measure. Now we can reveal the final part, the one you lost, the one whose absence still aches. They are here in this moment. They begged the angels to allow this. They pleaded with God to open a window in time, and heaven said yes. This is why you feel the chills. This is why you feel like someone is in the room, because they are. They are whispering, do not give up, do not doubt. I am still with you, and I need you to know the truth. They say, I forgave you. I never left angry. I never stopped loving you, and I am proud of you. Tears may fall, but let them. This is not sorrow. It is release. This is not pain. It is healing. They want you to know they left this world with your name in their heart. They saw your future, and it was beautiful. They are here to make sure you see it too. Michael says, this is sacred. This is sealed. This is the truth they begged heaven to deliver. Do not waste it. Do not close it. Stay until the end. My beloved child, heaven leans closer still. The veil is thin right now. Do you feel it? The stillness in the air, the pressure in your chest, the chills racing across your skin. This is not your imagination. This is the sound of eternity brushing against time. This is the moment when the heavens bend low, whispering, don't let go. Don't miss this. Don't walk away now. If you're reading this, it can simply be understood as a moment of reflection rather than a final warning or irreversible turning point. Sometimes when people are under stress or deep emotion, they interpret inner thoughts and hopes through strong symbolic language, like voices, gates, or divine signals, to express the urgency they feel inside about making life decisions. In that sense, open gates can be seen as a metaphor for opportunities that feel available right now, and quote, the stretched hand as the support, courage, or help a person senses, but may or may not choose to accept. Life often creates moments where we feel pulled to reconsider our direction, especially when we remember times we struggled, felt unheard, or questioned whether change was possible. Those memories can become powerful reminders of resilience rather than signs of fate or destiny being decided in a single instant. Instead of thinking in terms of a final chance or something slipping away permanently, it may be more balanced to see this as a pause point, a space where reflection helps clarify what matters most. Real growth is rarely about urgency or pressure. It tends to happen through steady awareness, honest self-inquiry, and small decisions made over time. If something in this message resonates, You can take it as encouragement to reconnect with your goals, your well-being, and the choices that bring stability into your life. And if it doesn't, you are free to let it go without fear. Your path is shaped gradually, not decided in a single moment of intensity, but if they stay, their name will be sealed in light, and no force of darkness will take it from them. The choice is trembling in your spirit. Do not hesitate. Stay. Receive. My beloved, heaven shows me this. The enemy has been planting confusion around you, making you doubt your instincts, making you second-guess your own discernment. But listen to me. Your intuition was never wrong. Your spirit knew all along. That uneasy feeling, that sudden pause, that whisper in your dreams. It was not paranoia. It was protection. And now heaven is confirming it to you. You were not crazy. You were not imagining things. You were not too sensitive. You were chosen. And chosen souls feel the war more deeply. That is why you carried pain that no one else understood. That is why the battles hit you harder than others. Because your destiny is greater. Because your light is brighter. And because your blessing is bigger. Michael is firm now. Tell them the enemy fears their next step. Tell them the darkness has tried to blind them because of the blessing that is about to appear. Tell them the moment they say yes to heaven, chains will shatter, and no man will be able to stop what God is sending. Do you feel the urgency? This is not just about survival. This is about inheritance. This is about legacy. This is about the future waiting for your obedience. God says, I am not late. I am not silent. I am not blind to your tears. I was waiting for this exact second to deliver what was promised. And now the waiting ends. Now the silence breaks. Now the blessing flows, but only for those who believe. Only for those who do not look away. My child, let me tell you something hidden. The one you lost, the one your heart aches for. They never abandoned you. On the day they left this world, their last thought was you. Their last whisper carried your name, and before they crossed into light, they begged heaven. Don't let them walk blind. Don't let them lose their destiny. Give them a sign. This is that sign. This message is their love echoing from eternity. Can you feel them? That warmth on your shoulder, that sudden memory rushing in, that heaviness turning into tears. It's them. They're saying, don't give up now. Don't believe the lie that you are alone. I am still here, still watching, still guiding. They couldn't warn you in life, but they can warn you now. And they're pleading that you listen until the very end. Michael lifts his sword high. This is sacred. This is sealed. This is the message that will save them. But only if they stay, only if they believe. And heaven is waiting for your answer. Do you feel the urgency? This is not just about survival. This is about inheritance. This is about legacy. This is about the future waiting for your obedience. God says, I am not late. I am not silent. I am not blind to your tears. I was waiting for this exact second to deliver what was promised. And now the waiting ends. Now the silence breaks. Now the blessing flows. But only for those who believe, only for those who do not look away. My child, let me tell you something hidden. The one you lost, the one your heart aches for, they never abandoned you. On the day they left this world, their last thought was you. Their last whisper carried your name, and before they crossed into light, they begged heaven. Don't let them walk blind. Don't let them lose their destiny. Give them a sign. This is that sign. This message is their love echoing from eternity. Can you feel them? That warmth on your shoulder, that sudden memory rushing in, that heaviness turning into tears. It's them. They're saying, don't give up now. Don't believe the lie that you are alone. I am still here, still watching, still guiding. They couldn't warn you in life, but they can warn you now. When we strip this down into a more grounded, human perspective, what it's really pointing toward is a heightened emotional state where anticipation and meaning start to feel amplified. In moments like this, people often become more sensitive to patterns, timing, and small changes in their life, and the mind can begin linking those feelings to the idea that something major is about to happen. It can create a strong sense of urgency, as if the next few days or even hours carry special weight or hidden significance. In reality, what's happening is usually a mix of expectation, hope, stress, and the natural human tendency to search for signs when we want clarity or reassurance about the future. Life does have moments of change, but they rarely arrive in sudden, dramatic timelines or fixed schedules like this week or next 48 hours. Real shifts tend to unfold gradually through decisions, actions, and circumstances building over time. When we feel emotionally charged like this, it helps to slow down and return to what is tangible, our current responsibilities, our actual choices, and the things we can directly influence. Instead of looking outward for signs or confirmations, it becomes more useful to look inward at what needs stability, healing, or attention in our daily life. This kind of grounding helps reduce anxiety and brings clarity, allowing us to move forward without being pulled by intense expectations or fear of missing something. Over time, steady awareness and calm decision-making create far more meaningful change than urgency ever can. This is heaven pulling you into the destiny you nearly missed. Stay awake, stay alert, stay ready. Michael says, "Mark my words, before this season ends, they will see the proof. Before the next moon rises, the truth will confront them. And when it comes, they will know this message was never a story. It was a warning, a rescue, a miracle. And beloved child, God whispers now, I will not let you walk blind anymore. I will open your eyes. I will uncover what was hidden, and I will restore what was stolen. My beloved child, stay with me. Do not let your mind wander. Do not let your heart drift, for what you are about to hear was sealed for you alone. Michael is standing at your side now, his sword burning with fire, his eyes fixed on your destiny. He says, the enemy is trembling because they know you are still here. They know you are about to hear what they tried to bury. They know their time is almost finished. Do you understand the power of this? Every delay you suffered, every heartbreak that cut you, every betrayal that left you bleeding, it was not wasted. It was written into your story as proof that the enemy failed because you are still here, still breathing, still believing, still fighting even when you thought you were finished. And now heaven says enough. It is time to turn it all around. Look closely at your life. Have you not felt the pattern? The same struggles repeating, the same cycles pulling you back, the same shadows haunting your nights. This was not coincidence. This was assignment. Darkness marked you because of the light you carry. But hear this, beloved. Your cycle ends today. The pattern is broken. The curse is shattered. The bloodline shifts because you stayed. Michael declares, this is generational. The chains your ancestors carried, you will not carry. The wounds they bled, you will not bleed. The delays they suffered, you will not suffer because you chose to believe. The line is broken and a new line begins. This is why you feel the trembling in your chest. Your spirit knows history is being rewritten, not just for you but for everyone who comes after you. My child, God says, I am not only restoring you, I am restoring your family. I am covering your children before they are even born. I am blessing the works of your hands. I am turning every sorrow into inheritance. This is not a small promise. This is not a shallow blessing. This is legacy. This is eternal. But there is still danger. Someone is watching you with envy. Someone is speaking your name with curses when you are not there. Michael has heard every whisper. He has seen every plot. And he warns you, do not trust every smile. Do not believe every word. They are not all for you. One of them hides a dagger behind their back. This is not to scare you. It is to free you. Because once you see, once you know, once you discern, they cannot harm you anymore. Beloved, lean in. Do you feel that strange heaviness lifting? Do you notice the clarity forming in your mind? That is the truth cutting through the lies. That is heaven opening your eyes. It may hurt, it may shock, but it will save you, Michael says. Tell them they are about to be offered something that looks sweet, but is poisoned. If they accept it, their path will dim. If they refuse it, their future will shine brighter than they imagine. They must choose wisely. This is why you are here now. This is why you could not skip this message, because heaven wanted you prepared. God whispers, I will not let you be deceived. I will not let you fall into the trap. That is why I sent this word. That is why I stopped you here. That is why your spirit would not leave, because you are about to walk into a decision that matters for eternity. Pause, my beloved. Take a breath. Do you feel that warmth rising in your chest? That is the presence of your angels affirming you. That is Michael's wings covering you. That is the hand of God steadying you. You are not alone. You never were. Even in the silence, even in the sorrow, they were there. And now they are revealing themselves in the only way they can, through truth. The one you lost, the one you ache for, leans closer now. If this message speaks to you, it may be expressing an inner emotional experience rather than a literal external voice or event. In moments of stress, hope, or emotional overwhelm, people often translate their feelings into symbolic language, imagining guidance, presence, or reassurance as if it were being spoken directly to them. Statements about not being alone or being continuously supported can reflect a deep human need for comfort, connection, and meaning during uncertain periods. The sense of tears rising can be understood as emotional release, your mind and body processing accumulated tension, memories, or unspoken thoughts. This kind of release is often part of natural emotional healing, where what has been held inside begins to surface and move through rather than remain suppressed. It does not indicate a prediction about the future or a hidden timeline, but rather shows how strongly your present thoughts and feelings are interacting with hope, fear, and reflection. Instead of reading urgency or signs into the moment, it can be more grounding to view this as an invitation to slow down and reconnect with what is real and steady in your life right now, your relationships, your choices, and your well-being. Meaningful change tends to unfold gradually through consistent, everyday decisions, rather than sudden revelations or time-limited messages. You are not required to act under pressure or emotional intensity. You can simply observe what you feel, allow it to move through you, and choose what supports clarity, stability, and calm at your own pace moving forward. Watch for the number, watch for the name that repeats. These will be the confirmations that the message is true. And when they come, you must act. You must not hesitate. Your obedience will unlock what your prayers could not. Your yes will pull down what your tears alone could not. Take a breath. Do you feel that warmth rising in your chest? That is the presence of your angels affirming you. That is Michael's wings covering you. That is the hand of God steadying you. You are not alone. You never were. Even in the silence, even in the sorrow, they were there. And now they are revealing themselves in the only way they can, through truth. The one you lost, the one you ache for, leans closer now. They whisper, I never left you. I never gave up on you. I have been walking beside you every step. I asked heaven for this chance, and now you hear me. Do not let my voice fade. Do not waste my prayer. Stay until the end. Can you feel the tears rise? Let them. They are washing away the grief that weighed you down. They are proof that this moment is holy. Good. You are still here. And because you are still here, the scroll can be opened further. The secret can be revealed. The miracle can finally be released. Michael smiles now, because you did not give in to distraction, because you chose to believe. because you trusted what your soul already knew. Heaven declares, the next 48 hours are marked. Watch for the sign, watch for the number, watch for the name that repeats. These will be the confirmations that the message is true, and when they come, you must act. You must not hesitate. Your obedience will unlock what your prayers could not. Your yes will pull down what your tears alone could not. This is the mystery of faith. When you choose to believe, heaven chooses to release. My child, God says, you have waited long enough. You have carried long enough. You have cried long enough. Now it is time to receive. Do not run, do not doubt, just receive. My beloved child, listen carefully. You are standing in a sacred portal of time. Do you feel how the air shifts as you read? Do you sense the weight pressing against your spirit? This is no ordinary moment. This is heaven bending down to meet you. This is God whispering into your soul, stay. Do not move away. Do not close your eyes, for this message carries the seed of your future. Michael is at your side, his sword blazing, his wings stretched wide to cover you. He says, the reason they feel the heaviness is because destiny itself is hovering over them. The reason they feel the chills is because eternity is brushing against their skin. The reason they cannot walk away is because their name is being written in fire across the heavens. My child, you asked, does God still see me? Does God still care? And heaven answers loudly, yes, more than you could ever imagine, more than you ever believed, more than the pain that tried to convince you otherwise. If you could see the tears in heaven's eyes when you suffered in silence, you would never doubt again. If you could hear the prayers the angels whispered for you, you would fall on your knees in awe. And now those prayers are unfolding as miracles. What this is really expressing, in a more grounded and human way, is the feeling of reaching a turning point after a long period of struggle. When people go through stress, disappointment, or emotional hardship, it's very natural for them to look back and see themselves as someone who has survived a lot. And in many ways, that reflection is true. You made it through difficult moments, and that naturally builds resilience, even if it didn't feel strong at the time. But instead of framing life as a battle between forces trying to block or guarantee outcomes, it's more accurate and helpful to see it as a process shaped by choices, timing, and effort. The sense of a door opening often appears when your mindset is starting to shift, when you're more aware of what you want, what you don't want, and what changes are needed to move forward in a healthier direction. That moment can feel powerful, but it isn't usually about destiny switching overnight. It's about readiness building inside you gradually. The idea of a crossroads is actually quite real in a practical sense. There are times when we choose between staying in familiar patterns or stepping into uncertainty that might lead to growth. Neither choice is magical or predetermined, but each comes with consequences that unfold over time. What matters most is clarity, understanding what supports your well-being, stability, and long-term peace, rather than acting out of fear, pressure, or emotional intensity. In the end, progress is rarely about dramatic turning points. It's about steady decisions made with awareness, patience, and self-respect, one step at a time. Michael warns, do not let fear hold them back. Do not let the whispers of others confuse them. They must walk by faith, not by sight. They must trust the hand of God more than the opinions of man. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to rise. My child, do not be surprised when the truth comes out. Someone has been pretending to support you while secretly wishing for your downfall. They will be exposed. Their words will return to them. And heaven says, do not fight them. Do not waste your strength on them. I will fight for you. I will defend your name. I will reveal the truth at the right moment. Your only task is to stay aligned, to stay in light, to stay in faith. Listen now. The one you lost, the one you love, leans even closer. They whisper, "Do not let the lies distract you. Do not let grief hold you down. Do not let guilt blind you. I never left angry. I never left bitter. I left loving you, and I am still loving you. Every day, every moment, every step you take." Do you feel that sudden ache in your chest? That is their love pressing through the veil. That is heaven's way of reminding you that death is not the end. They saw your future before they passed. They saw you rise again. They saw the blessing that is now at your door. And they promised heaven they would not rest until you received it. That is why you are here. That is why this message is reaching you at this exact moment. Good. You are still here. And because you stayed, the angels smile. They know you are ready for the next truth. Sometimes, when you're in a season of waiting and uncertainty, it can feel like everything in life is asking you to trust the process, even when you don't have clear answers yet. In those moments, your mind naturally starts searching for meaning, reassurance, and signs that things are going to get better. You may find yourself hoping that change is already on the way, even if you cannot see it yet, because that hope itself becomes something that helps you keep going. But real life doesn't usually unfold in sudden, dramatic moments or fixed timelines. Instead, it shifts slowly through small decisions, quiet effort, and the way you respond to challenges each day. There are times when progress feels invisible, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Often, growth is happening internally. Your mindset is becoming stronger, your understanding is deepening, and your patience is expanding. These are the foundations that later allow real change to take shape in a stable and lasting way. Trust in life, in this sense, is less about expecting specific outcomes to arrive at a certain moment, and more about continuing to move forward even when things feel uncertain. Letting go of the past can also be a gradual process. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens as you begin to make new choices, form healthier habits, and open yourself to new possibilities without forcing them. Over time, this creates space for better opportunities and a clearer sense of direction. What matters most is staying grounded, patient, and open to growth, allowing life to unfold naturally rather than trying to rush or control every outcome.